with none other than Willis, the word master, who's joining us live and direct from Kisumu City. Willis, good evening. How are you? How are your holidays?
Good evening, Ashley. My holidays are cool, but there is something that I really loved tonight. The songs, or those songs by that team called House of Grace. I thought maybe Jim Reeves was also in the house, but I realized they are very talented singers from House of Grace. How has your week been, Ashley?
My week has been good, Willis. Just a bit cold, but I'm surviving, thanks to God. I love your purple, by the way.
Your attire also makes me feel, yes, you're in for the big and great job that you've done right from 9 p.m. Keep it up, Ashley.
All right, thank you, Willis. Let's get to the word on the street.
Socialization. 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 Socialization.
Socialization. Really? Socialization. Socialization.
Socialization. Socialization. Socialization, right?
Socialization. Socialization.
Willis, which is which? Maybe you can just help us here.
Well, actually, in the first place, that word, refers to the process by which somebody learns to behave in a way that is acceptable in the society. And long as it is, you say socialization. Socialization. You may have socialization and all those other versions which we've also listened to, but the accurate pronunciation of that word is socialization.
All right, Willis, socialization, got it. Let's just move on to the system of serving meals in which food is placed in a public area where the diners serve themselves. How do you pronounce that specific word?
That is B-U-F-F-E-T?
Yes, Willis.
Yes. Well, that word, in the first place, it functions as a noun. And with that good explanation that you've given, but you say, in that case of functioning as a noun, it is buffet or buffet. But remember, the same word can also be used as a verb to mean to hit hard. That is, you say buffet or buffet. And actually, such words are technically called heteronyms. That is, same spelling, different pronunciations, and different meanings. Heteronyms.
All right, Willis, got it. Let's just move on. An incision in the windpipe made to relieve an obstruction to breathing. I'm not even going to try this, Willis. It sounds a bit tricky. I'll leave you to it.
I've got your word. Actually, you say tracheotomy. Tracheotomy. Now, that is from the word trachea. Some people, you'd agree with me, find themselves saying trachea, but it's trachea. That is the windpipe. But that medical operation to cut a hole in somebody's trachea, we call it tracheotomy.
All right, Willis. Now, the next one is quite interesting, yes. And it is that season, an abbreviation for the word Christmas. Now, Willis, I've had several people say Christmas. Maybe before we get to the abbreviation, you can clarify what that is, yes. How it is pronounced.
Now, Christmas, some people find themselves saying that because they think we have that part which is like the word Christ. But in English, what we call now inflection, the changing of the form of a word for grammatical function, in English, you'll find certain partial changes in pronunciation. Just like you say pasta, it ends with the sound a. That is the weak sound a, pasta. But you don't say pastoral, you say pastoral. So here you also say Christ, but you say Christmas, not Christmas. But the word that you've asked about, actually, it's that abbreviation or the short form, and you can use two pronunciations. You can say Xmas, or Christmas.
All right, Willis, just because we are learning, just a question. Maybe, do you know why they chose X instead of any other letter?
Ashley,
Yes.
has anybody ever called you Ashy? Something like that. Ashy.
Oh, yes, yes. Several.
That is now the informal or the short form of Ashley. In this case, you also have the word Christmas, and somebody somewhere, out of what we call affectation, somebody chose now to shorten it to Xmas. It normally happens on matters or when we deal with matters language.
All right, Willis, thank you for that. Let's move on.
Yes.
A subjective feeling of tiredness that has a gradual onset, Willis.
Oh, you are talking about fatigue.
Fatigue.
Fatigue. What we should avoid is fatigue you. Some people may say fatigue you, but the U and E are silent. You don't pronounce them. Fatigue. Just like we say plaque, not plaque you. But Ashley, you can agree with me that sometimes you may hear some people talking of plaque you,
Yes, Willis.
fatigue you. Somebody may even end up then saying morgue you instead of a morgue. Morgue, because we have that UE. If somebody says fatigue you, that person may also say morgue you, which is just, terrible, but people learn in terms of languages.
Actually, Willis, I've even had plaque instead
Yes.
of plaque. So, of course, every day is a learning day, Willis. But let's move on.
And there is no full stop to learning.
Indeed, Willis, indeed. Moving on, tending to avoid commitment or self-revelation, especially by responding only indirectly.
Oh, that is from the verb to evade.
Yes, Willis.
You say evasive. Evasive. Don't say evasive. Many people say that, evasive, but you say evasive.
All right. Moving on, a series of layers of rock in the ground. Actually, Willis, I actually discovered this word today thanks to you. So maybe you can help us learn how to pronounce it. A series of layers of rock in the ground.
Oh, you say stratum.
Stratum.
Stratum. And remember, it has the plural strata. Strata. Just like social strata. Like when we are talking about, the classes or the social classes in the society. And remember the way you've also explained when it comes to cases of, a rock, or when you talk about earth, those layers. But you say stratum and strata. When you come to American English, Ashley, you may hear of stratum or strata for the plural.
All right, Willis, thank you for that. What other words
Yes.
do you have in store for us tonight?
Oh, I'll go straight to feedback. Harun Janta. That name is Janta. You can also say Junta, but there are those who can also say Junta. Those ones are
Whatever.
acceptable. So Harun Janta, you say sit, S-I-T. Seat, S-E-A-T. Then set, S-E-T. Marcus Olekamwara of Narok, you say fugitive and graduation. Mwalimu Tom Omurwa of Amabuko, Kisi, you say interregnum. Interregnum. That is a period of time when an organization or a country does not have a leader or is waiting for a leader. Interregnum. Senator Robbie of Mandera, you say a bouquet of flowers. Priscilla Njeri of Muranga, pneumonia. Don't say pneumonia. Pneumonia in English, no. Pneumonia. Then tuberculosis. Tuberculosis. Isaiah Odanga of Migori, chief chef. A chief chef. Don't say chief chef. Very common locally, but you don't say chef. You say chef. Barak Simiyu of Bungoma, you say festive season. You can just follow Ashley Mazuri and you'll hear the way she says festive season. Don't say festive season. Season, no. You say season or season. And Ashley got it spot on. Now, Michelle Kebaso of Little Friends Academy in Naivasha, you say allergies, decipher, and comfortable. You'll forgive me for that. You say comfortable, comfortable. There was some noise on my ears, but I hope you can bear with me for that. You say comfortable. Now, Michaelia Mary and Willis Moffat, or there is my namesake here, Willis Moffat, thank you for watching KTN. You say entrepreneur, you can also say entrepreneur, a very tricky word. Entrepreneur or entrepreneur, but in American English you can also start with antro. Okay, now we would go straight now to the surprise word for tonight, and I know it looks simple because many people find themselves pronouncing it the way it is spelled. Alien, no. Don't say alien because letter A in this word takes the sounding A. Alien, alien. Then we come to the confusing words. The upper one is quaver. The lower word is quiver. Quaver and quiver. Don't pronounce them the same way. And finally, we have the phonetic or sound symbol, the long sound E. You say read, team, deep, and weak. So this symbol up here is what we call the long sound E. So you can see the examples that I've given there, and that one you get it only here on KTN. Now, up to that point, I would say that's about it from Kisumu for tonight. And Ashley from my cameramen, the two able cameramen, Dan and Mburu, we tell you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I'm Willis Ochieng.
Merry Christmas to you, Willis. And of course, it's always a pleasure having you with us here on Friday Briefing. Have yourself a good night. Keep warm and keep safe. And hopefully we'll see each other next